Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Crafting in a Small Space. My name is Miranda and I craft in a small space, usually a workplace, my car, or the trailer, you know. And I am currently in the top portion of the trailer that is boiling hot, just got off work. My car has a microwave inside, so I'm red and sweating. Got to change out of all the BS. And I want to show you the project I just finished, and I'm standing for that reason, and then I will get into other stuff. So everybody makes those mitered square blankets, and I have never been one to do little pieces and put them together, and I just wanted to see what this would look like. So I made a mitered square blanket in one giant square, and I did it with the Bitty Stripes seaweed. And it changes colors really nicely. When you're up close to it, you can see that it actually changes colors more. There are different variations of lime to green to forest green to like a sea blue to a dark cobalt blue. And so I faded it out. And this is 2 whole skeins minus probably, I could have probably, with the yarn left, could have probably made another bit this big, but there wasn't enough of the repeat for me to want to do that. See how it gets chunky and then it kind of gets thinner. I had to break up a lot of the ball. Hold on. Okay, so I had to break up a lot of the skein. And I have it here in the mermaid colorway. And I made a blanket in this, which I don't remember where that is, probably in my car. But it fades nicely, better than you can see here. And you have to break up the stripes because this is all evenly striped. So if you're making something that gradually gets bigger, the stripe gets smaller and smaller as you stretch it out more. So I had to cut these up quite a lot near the end to get as many of the thicker stripes out. Like this is probably, you know, a couple extra pieces, but I didn't want to just repeat the pattern. Let's tilt you down a squishy bit. I didn't want to just repeat the pattern because it starts at the green and then it goes to the blue, and I didn't want to put another green to blue, so I did it backwards. The next piece I joined once the blue met its end was blue, and then I went back towards the green, and then I wound another ball up and did the green to blue, blue to green, back and forth, and then finished it. It's 2 whole skeins almost. It could be bigger, like I said, but I wanted it to look a certain way, and it's a pretty good size. It's a nice lap blanket, and of course my silly self starts making things when it's hot outside. Speaking of, oh, it's not gonna let me show it, is it? Oh, you're so mean. Maybe I can get it over here. Okay, so I bought this fan, and it is, I think, $20 or $30 on Amazon, and the power button is here, and then this lights up different colors of green. At first I thought it was the remote, and like you slid it out, because it's just such a weird thing sitting there. And weirdly, there's a light back here, like inside the back, so it sits in the corner of my head of the side of the bed, but it's one of the bladeless. And I have gone through, I have one in the closet, I have one in my car, I have 3 in the storage unit, and I always have to have a fan blowing me. And now that I've hit like the perimenopause crap, I'm not fully waking up drenched in sweat or anything, but I do wake up and my hair is oily, even though I took a shower the night before. And there's not enough time for me to take a shower in the morning and actually sleep. So I got this, and it works really good. The 3 settings are very sturdy. Let me plug it back in as I have started dripping down the back of my ear. Let's see. That's the biggest setting, the dark green. Oh goodness. my hair is up, or else I would be like luxuriating. So, okay. What things did I want to talk about? Sweating like crazy. Okay. Dang it, I want to freaking show the other blanket I finished, but I don't know where it is. I'll show it in a different video, I guess. Okay, so I've got the other two mermaid. I did order 4 of these, thinking I was going to make the previous blanket pretty large. And then by the time I got to a certain size, I was like, how cool would it be to make a small one, a couple small ones, and have them just as lap blankets, because I'll be sitting on our camp chairs and I'll want to wrap a blanket around me, but I, since childhood, cannot get a certain level of my stuff level dirty. So I can't let my blanket hit the ground and sit at the camp. He might be able to do that. I can't do it. I have a cat hair on my nose somewhere and I can feel it, but I can't find it. So I was like, well, I could stop at a certain square and just put it around my legs, and then it won't hit the floor and it'll be perfectly fine. So I just knit up those 2 blankets in the last few weeks. And so I was like, well, I want to do something, but I don't want to knit something right now. I thought I was going to knit a cowl, and then I was like, why don't I do a crocheted project? And there is a Michael's 0.5 miles from my job, but my car is a microwave and I have to figure out how to get the AC to be better, and I don't really have help doing that. I tried to recharge it myself like I did my other 2 cars, and it made my engine shut off. So going to the Michael's today was just one step too many, because I also had a doctor's appointment. I went to the doctor, and I thought that appointment was at 9:45. I asked my boss if I could go and then come back. He said that was fine. And then at 9 o'clock, they called me, and they're like, are you here? I was like, what do you mean? It's 9:45. They're like, no, it's at 9. And I'm like, well, I'm 30 minutes away. And they're like, well, we'll squeeze you in. So I get on the road. The GPS tells me to go right when I'm supposed to go left. So I go up this hill to 2 miles away into another city. Got to turn around on the highway, go all the way back. And then their building is not in a busier part of our downtown, but busy enough that the parking around it is packed. So there's a parking structure underneath. So I go in the parking structure, and you're just going and going and going, and then you get to the little booth thingy once you pull in. And I just was 30 plus minutes looking for a parking spot. I was like in tears nearly, because I was like, I'm already late. I'm already late on top of being late. I'm already late because I'm looking for a spot, and how am I going to find my way back? And so I took a picture of where I was just in case, you know, whatever. And then I tried to find my way there, get to the appointment. And there's like, it's just weird when you're in a teaching place. I've watched all the shows where it's like, oh, this is a teaching hospital, can we have our little people in here? And it's like, this is, you know, I don't really need an audience, but one other person is fine, because every time I get a guide doctor when it's always about, you know, down there. And so yeah, turns out I have to have an operation. And he tells me there are 2 options to fix this problem. One, we can do this extremely drastic thing that will cut off a certain thing partially, and you might be incontinent. And it works 80% of the time to fix this problem. Or, and I was like, what do you mean or? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You're not going to cut any of that. None of that is affected. There's no. And he's like, did I say that was the good option? I'm like, why would you lead with that one? So he says, or we can just go inside this way and then cut a flap of skin, pull it down and sew it, and so make sure there's nothing like it is now. And I'm like, sure, why didn't you lead with that? Like, why would anybody choose the other thing? I don't care. If it doesn't work, we'll just do it again. And he's like, yeah, that's right. If it doesn't work, we'll do it again. And then they start running through like all the crap that I have to do before surgery, the things I have to get. the things I have to do prep-wise, and then on top of all that crazy, then they tell me, you know, how many, you know, you're gonna be off from work. There's a payment plan, not a payment plan, there's a thing you can fill out through your job, we hope they offer, that will reimburse you for the wages that you would have been getting. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean? How long? Because she literally, they talked about this little cut in the flap and the sewing it, and it's like 2 weeks. So yeah. And I'm freaking out because I'm already, you know, not at work when I'm supposed to be, and I'm like lost. When I was lost, it was just all of the stressy stuff just kind of went out the door. And so here I am now. And they haven't even announced when the surgery will be, and I have to have it at a certain OHSU at the top, not the place I was, because I'm fat. They need me up there, and there's all sorts of little things they got to do and conversations they have to have, and just all this over prep. So that's stressing me out. I'm gritting my teeth over stuff here, and so yeah. So my next crochet is going to be with this yarn, because I don't want to go to the craft store, and if I go to my storage unit after work, it's just so hard for me to do stuff after work because my car is so hot inside. And yeah, so I'm going to crochet something with this. I'm saying it on here so that I actually do this instead of going to the store, and instead of getting more yarn for my storage space, I'm going to crochet a shawl with this. Maybe a shawl, maybe a cowl. The sucky thing is I really love knitting circular mock eyelet cable, and I told myself I would do that next. But I want to make a crocheted shawl, a pretty one. I'm going to try to make myself really do it. He's going to be home any minute now. He went to the river. My cup! Okay, so there's this company, it's a slidey little cup, and it's the 28 ounces, I don't know how many ounces, it's small, but it's not, I never finished my drink, and this is like perfect, but I'm not going to show you the front yet. Pick the movie that you love and go on eBay and write Tumblr with that in it. There's a company that will make you your cup, or already probably has it if it's an actual good movie, and it glows in the dark, and it's like the full picture glows in the dark. So all of this glows, not just like the alien word or something little like that. The whole thing glows, and it hasn't scratched yet. Those tumblers and things they had at the movie theater for Alien, when the new Alien Prometheus came out, all of those, you barely run your fingernail down it and all of it scratches right off, except the plastic thing that's obviously at the top. But look at this beauty. And I have used it so much that the slider thing is, this is my cup for work, and I bring my little beverage. Right now there is lemonade up to here, and then unsweetened brisk iced tea for the rest of it, which makes it lemon tea, or maybe kind of that much. But this cup is dope. I love this cup so much. But yes, I'm hoping to dedicate myself to crocheting something, because then I can just zing it out, and I didn't want to make something big. But yeah, how are you guys doing? What are you working on? Is anybody out there? I feel like I put out videos and people like watch them and just don't say anything. But yeah, this fan is killer. Oh my gosh. I never get to be up here in the bedroom unless I'm going to bed. That's the only time. The only time I'm in this bed is when I'm going to sleep. Nothing else happens up here. I don't get to relax up here. I have to be down there. Which sucks because this is more comfortable. Look! We can still make a video and be cold at the same time. Sorry, I'm trying to navigate this through there, because to me, the thing's in the way of my eye. But to you, you can see my face. Hi. Alright. Oh yeah, when I said to my boss that, 2 weeks was scary because I was worried that I would be in trouble. He's like, 2 weeks isn't bad, that's fine. Like, I was like, holy shit, okay. So yeah, okay. I'm not going to make anything with this yet. I haven't picked a project for that yet. I got to look at the yarn. I mean, I got to look at the project that I knit already with it. So that I can go back and see if I like the striping enough to do something else knitty with it, or if I should use it as a background of like a stained glass thing, because there's a stained glass crochet squares. The problem is I never sew the squares together. If I did it on a larger scale, I could make them a purse front, and then I wouldn't have to sew anything well, I'd have to sew the purse together, and I don't like the sewing of all that stuff. I like sewing fabric, but I don't like stitching all my crocheted stuff together. I don't know. Whatever. Alright, you guys are doing good. I'm slowly falling apart, sweating to death. Perimenopause thing is like ridiculous. But I've gained all my weight back that I lost. I lost the 110 pounds a few years ago and gained it all back. Didn't cross the threshold of it. Still, my largest weight has only been 338. And I got weighed a few months ago, or a couple months ago, and I was down. Anyway, today I got weighed, and instead of just losing like 10 pounds, I've lost 20. And I've been eating differently completely. This is my sugar. The lemonade, the Minute Maid lemonade at work from the fountain, and a little bit of unsweetened iced tea. I don't really eat. I bring home candy and stuff from work, and then I give it to him. And I don't eat any of the sweet crap that he buys. Maybe like a Twinkie when we're roasting them, but one. He eats like the box. But yeah, and I eat like a Caesar salad every day and come home and don't really eat anything else after that. I ate a little bit of hummus and pita chips yesterday. But yes, let me do the thing where I get a good picture for the paws. Let's get the mitered square portion. Hello. Bye, everybody.